Hello everybody, this is Kaizen here, and welcome back to another episode here on Tortuga, our Minecraft survival series. Now behind me you're seeing the work that I did on stream, so I do now stream pretty often, guys. The link to my Twitch is down in the video description, currently on 500 followers. The growth has been amazing, so thank you to everybody who's been there and been suggesting things like helping me with this build behind, which is a bit of a cave entrance. We're still working on it, but I have to say I think it's looking pretty cool right now. That's why I thought I'd do the intro down here today, partly to show you that, but also because this is quite a water-themed episode. So in my last episode, I talked all about the fact that I'd had to rage quit after dying and losing all of my armor, tools, weapons, all of that stuff. It was very sad. So we ended up choosing our best armor we could get in Minecraft. But today we're doing something a bit different, and I've worked on a little bit of almost like a hack, a little cheat way that you can go and raid Guardian temples without dying several times and losing all your stuff like I did. So today we're going to talk about how you can find Guardian temples, what to take with you, and this is going to be for the way of sort of doing it a little bit in a cheat way where you're almost guaranteed not to die. I'm going to say almost just in case, but yeah, it is pretty much a guarantee that you're going to be okay, and how to raid them and that type of thing. So without any further ado, let's jump into the first part, which is going to be all about how you can find a water temple in the first place. So how do you find an ocean monument? Well, there are two surefire ways that you can find yourself the way to an ocean monument exactly. Now the first way requires villagers. Now if you want to see a villager breeder and villager trading hall, I do have tutorials on my channel for that. They'll be linked in the video description and or comments. Now once you've got your videos, you want to get yourself a cartographer, and you want to make up a compass and also some emeralds. So you make a compass like this, guys, 4 iron with 1 redstone dust for the compass and some emeralds. And what we're going to do is go over here where I have a few villagers waiting that I need to be sorted. But this guy right here is the cartographer that we made from a cartography table. By placing that down, he took the cartography job. And these are his first two trades. So once you trade some paper for your emeralds, you can then use those emeralds plus a compass to get an ocean explorer map. Incidentally, this is also how you get a woodland explorer map if you're looking for a woodland mansion. So we just go ahead, we'd put the emeralds and the compass up there, get our ocean explorer map, but we already have ours. Now, once you have it, it'll look a little something like this, and you can see here, these areas need to be loaded up. So it does tell you where the monument is, but you need to load up the areas around it. Now, the way that this works is basically the top of this map is north, the bottom is south, left is west, and right is east. So if I press F3, you can see right there it says I'm facing west, just below where it says chunk, facing west, and I need to get myself facing north, which is this direction. So now if I'm facing this direction, the map is correct, and you can see from where I'm stood right now, represented by the white dot in the top right hand corner of the map, the ocean monument represented there in the middle with an ocean monumenty looking sort of smudge, that is going to be down and to the left, also known as southwest. So again, I'm now facing north, this is south, this is west, so it'll be roughly in that direction. And what we can see here, if I go ahead and put my elytra on and we head up in the air and we fly off in this direction, then you will see that we are heading towards it. So let's get flying up like this. Okay, so here's the map, and here goes our dot on that map. And if we keep heading this way, you'll see we are going to start heading towards it. So right now it's just heading mainly in the west direction. So if we go a bit more south, it's going to come back that way, and eventually, once we get close enough, we'll be on this map. So again, we'll fly up here a little bit further, just to give ourselves a little bit of height there, so we can keep looking at this thing. And here we go. And now we just point ourselves at the ocean monument, and if we keep flying, we will hit the ocean monument. So it's going to be, there we go, right there. So a pretty simple way of finding them, but of course it does require villagers. So I'm going to show you another method now that you can use if you want, if you have the seed to your world. So the way you get this is by typing into chat /seed, and you'll get the seed. We're going to hop over to a website that I will link in the video description, and I'll show you what you can do once you have it. So this is mineatlas.com. Again, the link will be down in the video description. You put the name of your seed in here, which for our world is Kaizen, hit set seed like this, and it will load up, with this being your spawn point. You can use these buttons here to zoom out or back in. You can also use the mouse wheel to do that. As long as you have this ticked, the ocean monuments block, then you can see the different ocean monuments. And for example, if you are living near here, you would zoom in, find the ocean monument you want, and you can get pretty much exact coordinates for it, certainly enough to get you close enough to where you are going. You can see this can be used for other things as well, slime chunks and witch huts and that type of thing, but obviously today is talking specifically about the ocean monuments. Now, from this map, you can see they are pretty common as well, so when you're just out and about exploring, you may just happen to find them, and you might want to note down the coordinates of that using a book and quill in the game. Anyway, this is another way you can find the ocean monuments. So now that we've found them, we're going to talk about what we need to take with us in order to be prepared to fight them in this kind of hacked way that kind of guarantees you're not going to die. Almost, guys. So, now that you know where the water temple is, the next thing, of course, is to think about what it is that you want to take with you. And you could go down the route I went down, taking really bulk armor and tools and weapons and stuff, and trying to, go at it the hard way. But I have found a much better way, and I tested this out in my stream, and it worked pretty good. So, what we're going to take with us, guys, are loads of potions of invisibility, okay? So, this is going to be really useful because I'm going to now demonstrate using Omi. She helped me out a little bit earlier, what a potion of invisibility does. Okay, so to demonstrate this effect in action, I have the one and only Omi. Say hello, Omi.
Hello.
She's obviously a member of Tortuga. She happened to be here, so I thought I'd get help. So basically, guys, when you drink a potion of invisibility, Omi is going to demonstrate what happens right now. So go ahead and drink up, Omi. And boom, look at that, she disappeared. Now we can still see bubbles and we can see what she's holding, but mobs cannot see any of that stuff. And this is basically our hack against the Guardians. And right now we can't see anything apart from a few bubbles. So this is basically how we're going to defeat the Guardians. And I'll show you this in action in just a second, but this is why we brought the invisibility potions. So thank you for demonstrating that on me, even though we can't see you. There she is, kind of. Thanks for that. So as you can see there, guys, very useful because the Guardians will not be able to see you. You will be invisible. So you can then mine at your leisure. So the things I recommend taking with you are as follows. A silk touch pick, so you can get all of the items you want, like your prismarine stuff, but of course the sea lanterns as well need that silk touch. You want to take a kelp and a conduit. Now I'm going to come on to these two in conjunction with each other when we get there, but just trust me, these are going to help out. Now I know conduit is not super easy to get, so if you don't get that, an earlier game alternative would be to take potions of water breathing if you've got an AFK fish farm set up, but you definitely want to do that. On a final note about the water breathing, if you can't get conduit or potions of water breathing, you could also take doors. And I sort of recommend taking doors anyway, just in case you go out of range of the conduit or something. You can place the doors down and they will create a vacuum of air. Again, I will show you this when we get to the temple. I'm just letting you guys know things you should take. You should also take lots of milk with you, and I'm going to come on to specifically when you should drink the milk, but basically you want to take that because it will get rid of the mining fatigue effect that the Elder Guardians will lay upon you, so that's very useful too. Finally, you should take a bed and make sure you reset your spawn point nearby. That way, if you do die, at least you'll be nearby to go and collect your things again. I recommend having an ender chest or some other chest that you put some milk and some potions of invisibility in, so that if you die, you're able to quickly go back to the temple and recollect your things without the Guardians being able to see you, of course. So about this many, you can see these are 8 minutes each, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times 8 is over an hour of invisibility. We will be able to get tons of stuff, as you're going to see in this episode, in that hour. You could, of course, take more or fewer, depending on what your goals are. So these are the simple things I recommend you take. I'm going to take with me things like a sword as well, so I can kill the Guardians while I'm there, and if I feel I need to or anything, maybe get some drops from them. I'm also going to take just my normal tools that will help me out, but these aren't essential. The only other thing is you might want to take yourself an elytra and fireworks to get to the temple in the first place, because obviously it is surrounded by water, and a boat is going to be super useful too. So transport to there is the only other thing you need to think about. So that should be about it for your checklist of what to take with you. What I'm going to do now is go and get set up near the temple, and then we'll have a look at exactly how we should explore these things and how this works in action. So there it is, guys, the water temple that we are about to explore. Now you want to go ahead and find yourself an island nearby like I've done here to get yourself set up. If that doesn't work, you can always use your blocks to build off from the kelp that you'll no doubt find nearby and create a little temporary area. And this is going to be where you're going to place your bed and your ender chest. We want to right click the bed and that'll reset our spawn point even if it's daytime. It will come up in chat telling you that. My chat is just turned off right now, but that will work. And in your ender chest, you can put all the things that you don't want to lose, so all your good armor and stuff, and that way you can always get that stuff back. Plus, you might want to store some spare food and potions and milk and that type of thing. We, though, are now going to jump in our boat and head over. And we want to get set up like this. So the things you're going to want on you is the boat straight away. The doors can be useful. Obviously some tools and weapons, a bit of food. We really don't need these rockets. I'm just going to keep them on us because we have loads. But very importantly is the kelp and the conduit. So I'll show you why that is in just a second. So let's jump in our boat. And let's drink the invisibility potion because they are 8 minutes long, so there's no real worry about like losing anything. You can see there we've got invisibility for 8 minutes. Here we go. We're going to head on over, and the guardians will not be able to see us as we approach this temple. And we're going to go down and enter through the top here today. So let's have a look at how we're going to do this. Basically, we come in here like this. This is a little point, but you might want to turn the boat around like that in case you need to make a quick escape. The boat then is facing in the correct direction because it can take a bit of time to turn the boat around. So then we want to get directly above here like this, get our pickaxe ready, and hold shift to drop down very quickly and destroy that block. Hopefully, like I did there before, the effect is taken on us from this guy. Okay, then you want to go ahead and come out a block here like this, so this is not near anything, and place the conduit down on top there, and the conduit effect has taken place. Now, as you can see, we've got 2 air bubbles right now, because that's what we were on when the conduit started. What I recommend at this point is to use some more of your 8 minutes to come up here like this, let those bubbles get back to full, and then go back down. The reason being, if you go out of range of the conduit, you want to have the maximum amount of time to be away from, to breathe, is what I'm trying to say here. Okay, now we can actually come and kill this guy. Okay, now he's got thorns on him, so you do need to be careful. This is where you might want to take a bow with you, because doing it this way is possible, and is maybe a bit cheaper or easier, but it does take a bit of time. So that's hit number 3, hit number 4. Are we going to get this one on him? There we go. 5, 6. I'm just going to count this so you guys know how many hits it'll take. 7, right there. There's 8. Okay, we're doing okay. And number 9 killed him. So not too bad. Not too bad at all. Now we can just chill here for a second and eat. Now, the reason we put this on top of kelp, I'll talk about this very quickly, is because when you get the mining fatigue, you'll see I have it here. If I need to get rid of this kelp, I can still do that very quickly and easily. So kelp is just a useful little block there for placing things on top of. Okay, so let's get our wet sponge, prismarine shard. Oh, that's awesome. Elder Guardian head. Brilliant. Let's get all this... oh, no, we don't want to wear that. Oh my goodness. Because I don't know if they can see me at that point. Anyway, we want all that out of the way. We want a potion of invisibility here, and we want a milk bucket. Now, a big, important warning when it comes to milk bucket, guys. If I drink this right now, I lose all of my effects, including the invisibility, and at that point, the guardians can see you and will attack you. So be incredibly careful, okay, if you're going to drink this milk to get rid of mining fatigue. My recommendation to you guys is to go and kill all of the Elder Guardians. There will be either 2 or 3, depending on the temple spawn. That is what you're going to have. Kill those first before you worry about drinking milk, and then get to a safe spot, which we're going to do in a bit. So right now, I'm going to keep an eye on my invisibility very often, and we're going to go and try and kill the other 2 guardians, or Elder Guardians, I should say, by swimming through the temple and looking for them. So this can take a bit of time to find, so let's see how we do. And once we've killed them, then we'll look at how we're going to use the milk to get rid of the effect for the rest of the time we are exploring. Also, be aware of if you go out of range of your conduit. If that's the case, make sure you place down a door or something if you need to breathe, or get back in range of the conduit if necessary. Okay, guys, so we have killed all 3 of the Elder Guardians. We have the 3 wet sponge on us. Right now, the mining fatigue has worn off. We've just got invisibility and conduit power left. But I'm going to pretend that you have got mining fatigue on, and we're going to talk about how you can get rid of that. So the best thing to do is to place down a couple of doors like this, right, and open them up. So here we go. We can now stand in here, okay, and we can breathe. You can see here my bubbles have gone down in above my health bar there, basically because we can breathe here. That's great. Okay, so then you want to take the blocks that you brought with you. You want to box yourself in. Okay, so we're going to do that right now, just like this. Okay, very good. We also want to box in here and in here. Okay, very good. So we're boxed in on all sides and we can breathe, so everything's good. Now's a great time to eat, by the way. Okay, and let's do a couple of things. First thing we're going to need to do is drink some milk, and then we're going to want to retake our potion of invisibility. So we're going to pretend we have the mining fatigue. So we drink the milk, that is going to get rid of the mining fatigue. Now, I'm only doing this obviously to show you guys this, right? Now, make sure you drink your potion of invisibility before you head back out. And there you go, you are good. So you're now invisible, and we can break blocks with a normal speed, and the Guardians cannot see us. So we can go ahead and explore the rest of this. We've re-picked up the conduit power as well, and we can go through the temple now and get all the things we want. So all of these wonderful sea lanterns, all the Prismarine, everything else that you want is going to be a bit of a doddle at this point. So you can go ahead and loot this until your heart's content. So yeah, that is going to be pretty much the best way of doing this. Okay, so the next couple of things we want to talk about, obviously you can loot all this as much or as little as you like, but is the sponge room and the gold room, because those are two things that you guys are no doubt going to be interested in. So we're going to have a little dig down through here, and we're going to try and find those two areas. So there will be a sponge room and a gold room in each water temple. Okay, so I'm going to show you what they look like, what to look out for. In terms of actually finding them, it's a little bit tricky. You just kind of need to do a lot of exploring, a lot of mining and stuff. Just make sure you're keeping yourself invisible. Keep watching when that invisibility is coming close to running out and that type of thing. And obviously, the easiest time to find it as well is going to be when you have the ability to mine blocks without the mining fatigue, so that you can cut through walls and things like that to save yourself a bit of time. So that's going to be the way that we're going to do that. And we're just going to sort of have a look through the temple here, pick up some things that we want as we go. And you'll see in here as well, there's plenty of Prismarine stuff that we're going to be picking up. So you're going to get a lot of useful loot when you do this. Alright guys, so here is the gold room, or the treasure room, I should say. And this is where all of these gold blocks are. So this is what the structure looks like. Okay, it'll look like this. And if we stand here like this and we mine through this thing, you're going to see there are tons of gold blocks in here. So this is very useful before you have a gold farm, right? It's going to give you a lot of early game gold that you can use for whatever it is you want to use that for. So definitely keep a lookout for this. It is useful, but in my opinion, it is the second most useful thing about this temple, because the best thing is going to be the sponge room. So we're still looking for the sponge room. It is just like it sounds. It is literally a room filled with sponges that you can go ahead and mine and take home with you, dry them out and use them for things like, well, drowning out, or getting rid of all the water, I should say, in a Guardian Temple to make a Guardian Farm, which is going to be an upcoming episode of mine. It will be linked in the description if you are watching this in the future. And if not, you guys... Oh, look, here it is. If not, you guys have it to look forward to. Okay, so this is what it will look like. So again, we're going to go ahead and mine this. Now, there's no real quick way to mine this sponge, so just put on a good video, maybe a Kaizen video, and mine all of that sponge out. Be sure, of course, to periodically just check how much your invisibility has left. This is not the time to die, guys. This is the worst time to die, because you now have a lot of cool stuff on you that you don't want to lose. So I'm going to go ahead and mine all of this sponge out, and once we've done that, we'll come back in and see what loot we've got so far. Well, guys, there you have it. How to raid a water temple just like that without getting killed because of the potions of invisibility. Now, just to say, when you get these sponges, they will be wet. You can dry them by smelting them in a furnace at the same rate as any item, or you can place them down in the nether and they'll instantly dry, and then you pick them back up. And of course, the dry sponge can be used to clear out water in large areas, and that could be coming here soon. I think we're going to clear this out and make this into a Guardian farm in an upcoming episode, guys. I would really like to do that. So I hope this video has helped. If it did, please do consider liking and subscribing. It really is greatly appreciated. And I died several times to make this video, so have a heart, guys. But in all seriousness, thank you so much for watching today, and I hope to see you in the next one.